I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, people? How you doing? Oh, yes. As you can see, I'm in a different location today. I am at the rehearsal studio, but I could not resist this. Literally could not resist getting Barbara on this show. So I want to welcome her to the show, Miss Godfrey. Hi, how are you doing?
I'm doing really well now that the coffee's kicking in. Thank you, Yaya.
Well, you got to have your morning coffee, and it is like very early where you are.
Oh, yes. Yeah. It's just about ticking over to 7 a.m. And it's 23 degrees. I'm in Melbourne, Australia.
Australia? Oh, so you're a day ahead of me.
Oh, yes. Yeah. This is Monday morning here.
Oh, wow. We're still in Sunday over here.
Yeah, I wish I was still in Sunday.
It's time travel. It hasn't even become sunset yet. It's like still daytime outside. We still have plenty of light.
No, we've got the sun is rising. It is going to be another beautiful day in Melbourne, but it's Monday, so everybody's back to work.
And there you go, the rat race begins.
Oh yes, for another treadmill week. The same old, but it's good.
Yes, definitely. So tell us about yourself.
Well, I'm, how should I say? I'm a mature-aged lady. Thank you, put it that way. I hate numbers and titles. It just blurs the brain.
Yes.
I was born in England, northeast of England. Grew up there till 15, started my first job from work, which was leisure travel. I worked in a travel agency. Followed my brother out to Australia. He came out on a scholarship, and he and I lived here until my younger brother joined us a few years later, and lived my life I class myself as an Australian now. I've lived more years in Australia than I had in the UK, but still have the roots there, still got family over there. And it was a visit back to Australia one year that I was in one of those bus tours, the ubiquitous bus tours that you've got to take around the cities in London. And I was with my cousin, and we were on this bus tour having a great day, and we got stuck in a traffic jam. Car parked wrongly, wouldn't let the bus through, how narrow those streets can be. And we stopped, parked beside this building site. There was the scaffolding all over this building. And I looked at this building, and the window, the transom above the front door, had this beautiful stained glass of an iris flower. And at that moment, somebody switched a light on or opened a door or something, because it just illuminated. It was incredible. And I'm sitting on this bus, looking at the house, looking at the flower, and thinking, bus moved on, but the brain was working. Got back to Australia after the holiday, and I had another week of basically off work because I had to, I'm still on holidays. So I sat down at my little old IBM computer that I had back in those days. We're talking nearly 15 years ago, okay? Not my lovely Mac system that I've got at the moment, nice and easy to use. But I sat down at this IBM machine and literally in a week typed a 350-page book.
Oh
it just, God. The idea was there, and the story just went bleh. And I thought about it, and it wasn't perfect. It was the outline of the book. It was the bare bones of the book. It was the theme going through it. And it took another 10 years of me just tinkering with it, coming back to it, adding to it, changing it, editing it. And then I did the round of all the publishing houses, rang up, sent off them. they come back and say, oh, we can't help you without a literary agent. So I rang round literary agents and they said, oh, we can't help you without a publishing house.
Oh my gosh.
Frustration reigned for a while. And then I did my first, and I was just tinkering one night on the computer, and this thing came up on Facebook, you're a literary prodigy, or, you have this idea in your head, why not publish, self-publish? And right. I thought, okay, why not, give it a go. I had a little bit of funds around because unfortunately my parents both passed away, so I had a little bit of an inheritance, and this was in 2017, I think it was, 17, and I thought, why not? Got into one company that I won't mention the name because I've now parted ways from them, which published Iris House Legacy Book 1. And I basically then went on the roller coaster of, oh, we can do this for you. It will only cost you X amount of money. And we can do that for you. It will cost you X amount of money. And I mean, it cost quite a bit of money to actually self-publish that first book, which I literally had no control over. I couldn't control cost. I couldn't control anything. Basically, all they said was, give us more money, give us more money, give us more money. Eventually, I thought, this is ridiculous. I can't do this anymore. I was getting phone calls practically every day. Oh, we need you to do this, but you've got to give us more money, more money, more money. In the end, basically, I decided, I got phoned up, cold call if you want, by another company. And they said, oh, no, we can do this. And by this stage, the second book had gone blur onto the page. I didn't do a repeat of the week, but basically there were so many questions coming out from after I finished the first book that the second book came out. And it's slightly different. It's another aspect. It's a little bit more involved, I think. But then, of course, I decided to change the publishing houses, which I've had a bit more control over the cost of the books per se, which is, for me, great. I'm still waiting for the royalties coming through, by the way. I think my royalties last year was $3.78.
Yeah, it takes a while.
It does take a while.
It takes a while.
The second book got published with the second, and I revised book 1. So book 1 got revised, book 2 got published. And then, of course, I had to have book 3 because I had to continue on with. So book 3 at the moment is in the process of being published. I've just done the final editing of the galleys. So basically that's coming back. And now I'm waiting for them coming back and saying, all right, now give us some more money for the actual cover work. The cover work's going to have to be costed. Yeah, so that's what I'm waiting for now. But I wrote them as a I suppose it was cathartic. It was a release of tensions. I've lived on my own since my divorce in 1995. Traveled the world. I mean, I've lived in various places around the world, but I've always come back to Australia. This is where my children are. So basically, Australia is home. But I couldn't, the world seemed to be getting more violent, if you understand what I mean. Everything, your movies, your books, you turn on the TV for the news and it's violence. It's more gun violence, which you know too well about. It's more anger. The world is full of anger, and I don't think our entertainment industry is helping with that. You look at the movies these days, it's people hitting people, it's violence, it's shootings, it's car chases, it's blood, it's gore, or it's, sex without meaning sort of thing. there's not compassion, there's not love anymore, there's not goodness anymore. And I just thought, in the books I write, there are no vivid sex scenes, there are no shooting, bad sort of things. As my grandmother used to say, what you need to read is a good yarn. It's a story that you can sit on an afternoon in front of a nice fire with a glass of wine or a cup of cocoa or something, and just immerse yourself in a story that gets you, when you put the book down, thinking, I enjoyed that. And, so it just takes you away from your everyday without giving you something that you think, oh my God, why did I read that? That, to me, is a good story, and what I want to read. I love the old romantics, Barbara Cartland,
me too.
Georgia Haya, those ones. I love that, just that era where courtesy and manners mattered more than, you getting ahead. If you got ahead,
Definitely.
But
Definitely.
yes, that's the whole reason in a nutshell of why I wrote the books. And I've written 3. Whether or not there is a 4th and a 5th, I have no idea. Brenda and the gang, they're sitting in here at the moment. They've gone, they're happy with what they're doing at the present at the end of book 3, but whether book 4 or book 5 comes up, because there are lines, there are avenues in book 3 that I can actually take to make book 4 and book 5, but whether or not I want to do that depends all on what happens with the other 3, of course.
Right. Wow. So your blood, it results in the book every time.
Yeah. I mean, it's just
my blood would do that.
It just went bleh. But I think I write the way it's as always I'm reading the book to you. The words. I don't have it professionally edited. I've never had it, because I think the latest cost on professionally editing my book is around about $9,000. That's Australian, not US. And basically, it's crazy.
In every language, that's crazy.
And basically, I put Google, well, what do they call it? Word, so they can. So I've put that on my computer, and that's what I go through. But
I hear you.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
I'm literally doing that. So it's a case of I try and do that myself, purely and simply because I do not want to give control away from my babies, which they are. That I've lived with these for 20 odd years. It's basically my life work in the 3 books at the moment, and there's others. I mean, I've got others. I've got another one that the title itself was given to me by a work colleague. I still work in the travel industry over here. I'm a corporate travel agent, so I book big companies, executives, etc., around the world, and I've been in this business since I was 15, and I'm 70 this year. And I've worked in leisure travel. I've worked in 3 corporate travel agencies. I've worked with 3 resorts, 2 hotels. I've been a personal assistant. I've worked in a bank, and I've been a mum to 2 kids. So I have the experience behind me, as well as, 2 airlines. So I've done my due diligence in this world, but you still get the young executive assistants and travel arrangers that have just come straight out of college with their little bit of paper saying, yay, I'm a travel arranger, thinking that they know everything. And I'm sorry, darlings, but you absolutely know nothing. Life is still going to hit you. Nothing.
Yeah,
No.
I don't want to know nothing. I want to know and absolutely nothing. So at least I know something.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Definitely,
you try,
definitely. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So they're trying to guide these people that think they know better than you. And yeah, I'm getting there sort of thing. But
I got you.
job is the job, and it pays the bills. That's what I'm wanting. But yeah,
Well,
we'll get.
that's wonderful though. I mean, congratulations on all the success and
Oh,
taking
thank you.
people around the world and also traveling yourself. Let me ask you a question though. It's like your book, could really like result in another book. I mean, but how has this book changed your life?
It's changed it in the fact that I'm a lot calmer. It hasn't changed me myself in that regard. It just means that something inside me is now released.
Mhm.
I've achieved it. I can actually put on my status published author, which
Mhm.
to me is a achievement that I never thought that I'd get.
Mhm.
All my life it's been a struggle to actually not seek achievement, but receive achievement or accolade in that regard. I mean, not many people know that I am a published author. It's one of those things that it's not being splashed around. It's not, I don't go out and say, oh, I'm a published author, that's not me. But in here, I know I've achieved something. I haven't been, through my marriage, it was fairly difficult because I was never good enough. I never felt as though I was good enough in the relationship. I was always the little wife at home, that kept the home, looked after the kids, kept that running, even though I was still holding down a full-time job at the time, still looking after the house. I'd never received any, oh, you did a good job there, or a bit of praise. I've done pottery, I've done all things, I've done artworks and things like that. I've tried to improve myself and my brain, but it's given me a sense of achievement that yes, I've done this, but not just once, but I've done it 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
And possibly even a blah coming next, huh?
possibly. The title of the one that's in the back of the brain at the moment is called Oh My Giddy Aunt.
Oh.
Because basically, when you get to the stage of those EAs that you've had an hour conversation with, trying to tell them that the flights that their bosses want to travel on no longer operate after COVID, and we can only give them these flights, but they keep on insisting that they need to book the flight that their bosses have said they need to book on, you go, oh my giddy aunt, give me strength.
Oh,
And so
wow.
that's the next book. And I'm not going to say anything more from that because it's still in here. It's the first page is written down. So the first page is there for me to build from, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh. But I'm waiting for your blog. I'm really waiting for it because I know it's coming. I know it's coming. Well, I mean, did we miss anything today about the Iris House Legacy Book 2? You have Book 3 and you have Book 1. So, I mean, you have 3 books. People can be really, really busy.
Yeah. Well, I hope people enjoy them. I mean, I as I say in my blurb in the beginning of it, I write to entertain. I don't write to inform. I write to entertain. And I take a lot of poetic license with them. I mean, I do research and I do check facts and I do a certain amount of research, but I don't go to the library and immerse myself in the thing. I do a web search. I do this. I get what I need to make the book flow. And that's basically how I do that. And I hope that people do find them entertaining, and I hope they do pass them on and say, oh, look, I read this book in the weekend, it's great, have a read to their friends, because that's how it's going to get out there, that they're there,
Awesome.
and that's
Where can people find your book?
They're on Amazon and Barnes and Noble, all the online bookstores. But please, I think the original one is still out there for book one. So if they do see that at an exorbitant price, tell them to please ignore that one. The second one is published by Gold Touch Press at the moment. So basically look for that one, books 1, 2, and shortly, possibly within the next couple of months, book 3, depends on how quickly the artist gets the book cover design back to me. So we'll see how that happens. Yeah.
Well, that is so wonderful. Congratulations on everything. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Yaya. And all the best on your rehearsals, and hope the gigs go well.
I hope they're not killing each other over there.
No, we're fine.
They sound like they're still playing, so I'm good to go.
All right.
Thank you so much, Miss Godfrey, for being on the show. Guys, I'm going to have the link in the description box below so that you can go ahead and get that. Go ahead and go check these books out for yourself and see if you like them. And book number 3 is coming out soon. It's Iris House Legacy, book 2 and 3. And if you find book 1 at a little bit of a bad price, let her know.
Yes, please.
Let her know. Yeah, definitely. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys, bye. Bye, Miss Godfrey. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much. All the best with the rehearsals.